Last 25. Question number 1. All of the things in group A are leaping sickness bacteria. None of the things in group B are leaping sickness bacteria. Which 2 things in group C are leaping sickness bacteria? Hint. Leaping sickness bacteria have the same number of hairs and they contain 3 shapes, one of which is shaded. Number 2. How many cans of worms can be packed in that box? How many cans of worms can be packed in that box? Number 3. The diagram represents a triangle with a base of 16 meters and a height of 3 meters. What would its area be in square meters? The diagram represents a triangle with a base of 16 meters and a height of 3 meters. What would its area be in square meters? Question 4 and 5. Question 4. It is 11 a.m. Western Standard Time in Portland, Oregon. What time is it Eastern Standard Time in Portland, Maine? Woo-wee, that's going to be super fun to find. So here's Oregon, and here is Maine, right here. And they are, give me a minute and I'll help you. Okay, that is right, but before I told you, I wanted to make sure. So there's 3 hours difference between Oregon and Maine. So the question again says, if it is 11 a.m. Western Standard Time in Portland, Oregon, what time is it Eastern Standard Time in Portland, Maine? And question 5, what time is it in Central Standard Time in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? So again, we're starting from Oregon and we're going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and there is 2 hours difference. And so if it's 11 here, it's 10 here in this shaded area. Just kidding. If it's 11 here, it's 12 here in this shaded area, 1 here and 2 here. So question 5 again, what time is it in Central Standard Time in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? So South Dakota's here. We're going from Oregon to South Dakota. Numbers 6 through 14. Numbers 6 through 14. Look at the telephone bill summary on your sheet and answer questions 6 through 14. I believe this goes with it as well. Okay? Number 6. Item 1006 gives information on local calls. How many local calls were made in the billing period? Item 1006 gives information on local calls. How many local calls were made in the billing period? Number 7. The cost of each local call was 18 cents. What was the total cost for local calls? The cost of each local call was 18 cents. What was the total cost for local calls? That's how much it cost. This is our total. Number 8. Item 1013 gives information on long distance calls. How many of these calls were made? Item 1013 gives information on long distance calls. How many of these calls were made? Number 9. Choose the amount in the small box closet to the average price of long distance calls made. Choose the amount in the small box closet to the average price of long distance calls made. Okay, think I got this one. So what it's asking you to do is take $101.20 and divide it by the total number of long distance calls that were made. And then over here you're going to tell whether those long distance calls cost $1, were they closest to $1, a piece, $1.50 a piece, or $3 a piece. So you're going to take the total cost, divide it by the total number of calls, and see if your answer is closer to $1, $1.50, or $3. And that was question 9. Question 10. Item 1015 gives information on international direct calls. Choose the amount in the small box closet to the average price of international direct calls made. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this number, the total amount that we're paying by the calls that we made, and you're going to say whether each call was closer to $6 a piece, $8 a piece, or $10 a piece. Take your total number of calls, or total price of your international direct calls, divided by the total amount of calls made, and tell which one it's closest to here in this box. Number 11. Phone lines and telephone lines are owned by the telephone company, and subscribers pay rent on these in advance. Items 712, 713, and 714 give details of this. How much does the subscriber pay in advance rentals on this line? So remember, this tells you how much it costs each, and then this is our total cost right here. So one more time. Phone lines and telephones are owned by the telephone company, and subscribers pay rent on these in advance. Items 712, 713, and 714 give details of this. How much does the subscriber, or the person who has this bill, pay in advance on the rental fees? So you'll notice rent in advance, total, rent in advance, total. Question number 12. Telephone subscribers can get special discounts. These are shown as credits on the bill. What abbreviation is used for the word credit on this bill? Around here somewhere. Telephone subscribers can get special discounts, and these are shown as credits on the bill. What abbreviation is used for the word credit on this bill? Question 13. What would the bill have totaled without this credit? What would the bill have totaled without this credit? So, you're going to take and add all the totals together, and then you're going to have to add that credit back on, because a credit means they don't have to pay that much. So, add all your totals together, and then add the credit back on. Okay, based on what the answer is, all it wants you to do is actually add these together. Instead of subtracting that at the end, it wants you to add these together because it did never give us a total. So for question number 13, just add your totals here together. Sorry. And question 14, if you look down at the bottom of the bill, you should be able to work out how many months between bills. Choose the amount in the small box and then write your answer on answer line 14. So based on right here, do they do it in 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months? So remember, January to February is 1 month, February to March, March to April. The next 3 questions relate to the scale and map on your paper. Number 15. Use your ruler and the scale to find the distance between the places on the map. Use your ruler and the scale to find the distance between the places on the map. So, we want you to use how many kilometers is it from X to Y. So we're going from X to Y. And these are in centimeters. So here's X, and here is Y. It is 3 centimeters. So every centimeter is 10 kilometers. So if it's 3 centimeters, question 15, how far is it from X to Y? Number 16, we're going from Y to Z. So we're going from here to here. And we are at 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. So 1 centimeter is 10 kilometers. How many kilometers is it from X to Z? And number 17, how many kilometers is it from X to A? And this one is at 2.5. 2.5. The next 3 questions are about our story problem right here. It says Robert's bicycle wheel has a circumference of 2.2 meters. How far has he traveled if the wheel has turned 80 times? Question 18. What is this problem asking us to find? A. How far does Robert's bicycle travel each time the wheel is turned? B. How far does Robert travel in 2.2 turns of the wheel? C. How far does Robert travel when the wheel turns 80 times? A. How far does Robert's bicycle travel each time the wheel turns? B. How far does Robert travel in 2.2 turns of the wheel? And C. How far does Robert travel when the wheel turns 80 times? Number 19. The next step in problem solving is to ask, how can I find the answer? Which operation symbol or symbols would you use to find the answer to this problem? And question 20, find the answer to it, put it on your answer line.